Good morning, everyone. Let's just get situated. And welcome to the new Franklin Park. This the 5-acre park here in the heart of downtown D.C., just a few blocks from the White House and walking distance to 10,000 residents that call downtown D.C., Logan Circle, Mount Vernon Triangle their home. This is a special day for us. So you'll hear a little later on about the features of this renovation, but I just wanted to highlight a few aspects of it. The new stormwater management system that will capture 100% of the water runoff from this park. A revitalized tree canopy that helps some of our older trees that have been in this park for a very, very long time. A children's garden area that I'm sure all the kids and kids at heart are excited about. And soon to be open in the spring, a cafe restaurant. But this, yes. So at the end of our ceremonies today, there are some staff and volunteers that will be around to provide tours of some of the amenities. So as many of you might know, the renovations of this park began or conversations about the renovations began over a decade ago. And we are finally glad that it's here today. But it couldn't happen without the leadership and the partnership of a number of people. So I'm going to use my time to make some acknowledgments, first and foremost to our mayor, Muriel Bowser. It was her commitment to funding this project that really crystallized the dreams of so many people who have been involved in this effort. But she didn't only fund the renovations. She and her leadership team, including Beverly Perry, negotiated a cooperative management agreement and moved legislation to the Congress to make today possible. So again, thank you so much, Mayor Bowser, for all your efforts here. And then no effort that involves the federal government will be successful without the hard work of our Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton. Congresswoman, you always come through for us, and you did it again. Thank you so much. We also had a number of other partners who I want to acknowledge. National Park Service, and there were superintendents before Jeff, but Jeff, thank you and your superb team for the partnership and the leadership. Some of your colleagues might be here, but I just want to acknowledge Robin Nixon, Eliza Voigt, Catherine Dewey, Peter May, and Tammy. Thank you so much for the partnership. And then there was a number of government agencies that were involved. I cannot list all of them, but if you work for the D.C. government, you were involved in this project, thank you. But I want to really just highlight a few people that have been really pivotal in this. Our Department of General Services Director, Keith Anderson, looking all suave in his outfit. And sitting next to him is equally suave, DPR Director Delano Hunter. Let's give them a round of applause. Tommy Wells, our Director of the Office of Environment, was an early partner in this project. It was part of his brain trust. And so, Tommy, thanks for sticking this through with us. I don't know if the DDOT director is here, but Everett moved a lot of mountains for this, and so did the Office of Planning. So thank you so much, agency heads and your staff, for all that you've done. But this could not be possible without a great design and construction team. So at this time, I just want to acknowledge the construction and design team led by Marnie Keith from Studios Architecture and David Rubin from Land Collective. Let's give them a round of applause. And then, if you love the construction, then you have Omar McIntosh from Smooth Construction and his team to thank for this. And they did a fantastic job. So thank you all for what you've done to bring this to where it is. To the Downtown DC BID staff and board of directors, and I know my board chair, Greg Odell, is here, towering somewhere in the crowd. Greg and our board members, thank you so much for the support. I want to acknowledge Rich Bradley, who really was, I won't call him the grandfather, but the father of this effort at the Downtown DC BID. I know Rich is here, Ellen Jones, who was part of the planning process, but in the recent past, I want to acknowledge the work that Cicely Mendy and Jaron Price, Rachel Hartman, and Gillian Brooks have done to bring to where we are today. And then finally to the many office workers and visitors and residents who have had their routine disrupted for about 2 years, your beautiful Franklin Park now awaits your return. Before I welcome Mayor Bowser to the podium, let me take this opportunity to announce one special gift that this park has already received and another special gift that it will receive soon. Ann B. and Thomas L. Friedman Family Foundation generously donated to enhance the children's play garden, and we're looking forward to our continued partnership with Planet World, and you're going to have an opportunity to see the children's play garden soon. Before I announce the other gift, I would be remiss if I don't acknowledge one person who has been in this for a long time. Chirac has been the project manager for this project. Throughout its cycle, Chirac is leaving the District of Columbia today, but you're leaving on a very high note, Chirac. Thank you so much. I'm also pleased to announce that Amazon, yes, that Amazon, has committed to be Franklin Park's greenery and beautification sponsor. They're backing through the downtown. Yes, that's worthy of a round of applause. Their backing through the Downtown DC Foundation will help ensure our plantings, turf, and trees are well maintained year-round, and they will support additional community programming right here in Franklin Park. So we want to thank Amazon and Brian Kenner, I know Brian is here, for your support. So now, please join me in welcoming to the podium our Mayor, Muriel Bowser.
Let's give Neil and the Downtown BID a big round of applause. Neil, congratulations. I know that this has been a big project for the downtown and certainly well worth it. If you know Neil's history, I frequently just call him Deputy Mayor, Director, City Administrator, and now Director of the Downtown DC BID. He has committed a very good part of his professional life to making DC a better place to live, work, and do business. And I dare say this is also a crowning achievement for you. Give a big round to Neil Albert. Congresswoman, you've done it again. We give you a hard job to do, and you just knock it out the park. And I hope you are proud of the beautiful Franklin Park. Thank you to our Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton. To our friends at the National Park Service who have the honor of preserving and protecting some of the most beautiful parks anywhere in the United States of America. Superintendent Reinbold, to your team, I want to say thank you for all that you've done to help get us to this point. Kim Hall, thank you for your service to the nation and its parks. And we have some pretty parks in this town. And we care a lot about them. And they're urban parks. And urban parks are special, and they need a lot of attention. They need to serve a lot of purposes and uses. And the District of Columbia wants that job. You've heard me say this frequently. I want the ball. We want the ball when it comes to our parks, don't we, DC? So what our Congresswoman has been able to do in partnership with the Park Service is a big deal for us. And in some ways, it's a model for what we need to do in all 8 wards of the District of Columbia. I, too, want to acknowledge D.C. government officials and team members who every single day and for every single day throughout this pandemic have been showing up for DC residents. And with projects like this, they didn't stop. Actually, they sped up. So thank you to DGS, the district's construction arm, and to the Department of Fun. The Department of Parks and Recreation, led by Delino Hunter. You've already heard a little bit about how we have gotten here. It's been a vision that the city has pursued for almost 10 years. And we took it on in my administration in the very early days. In fact, it was a high priority in the very first budget that I sent to the council. I want to acknowledge my senior advisor, Beverly Perry, who at the time was leading a brand new office for federal and regional affairs. Beverly and her team have worked very, very hard in partnership with the residents of the District of Columbia to make this happen. Thank you. And so we have, as I said, while these talks have been going on since 2012, you will remember that in 2017, we specifically requested in the letter to the president the ability to renovate Franklin Park. And by that time, we didn't need to explain to anyone why this park needed to be transformed. A lot of places in D.C. are described as just blocks from the White House. And this one happens to be just blocks from the White House. But for many, many years, it has not matched our expectations for what a central park in Washington, D.C. should be. And if you look around yourself today, you will notice that this park is surrounded by D.C. places. It's surrounded by the Washington Post on one side and the Hamilton Hotel, the new fantastic Museum of the Word, Planet Word, two favorite D.C. establishments as well, the park at 14th to the west, and Compass Coffee. We're also joined by our littlest friends from Thompson Elementary School. Where are you, Thompson? And soon, and very soon, Neil, we will be surrounded by the K Street Transit Way, which is also a big priority for the people of the District of Columbia. So we are here, we're proud, we're here to celebrate, and we're here to celebrate something else. D.C. is open, and D.C. is open because of the sacrifice and hard work of D.C. residents and our businesses. So just yesterday or a couple of days ago, we also celebrated what it means when we can work with the federal government, Congresswoman, because we were at Walter Reed celebrating the new Children's National Research and Innovation Campus. You will remember that the district acquired that after a lengthy BRAC process. And now the campus already has a school, fire station, new housing, and Children's National Medical Center. That's what we can do when we all put our minds together. And that's the reason why we are so focused on these spaces, because D.C. is only 68 mighty square miles. And that means we have to make the most of all of our land. And that's why we're committed to these projects. And that's why we invested local dollars. Let me say that very clearly. Local dollars, $21 million of D.C. taxpayers' money to renovate a federal park. We do that because we know how much these spaces mean to our residents and D.C. businesses. The same is true here. That is true here at Franklin, is true at RFK, as it was true at Walter Reed and true down at the wharf. And the Congresswoman knows that our friends at the National Park Service are also very focused on making sure underutilized parks can really live up to all of our expectations. So thank you for being here. Enjoy our beautiful new Central Park in Washington, D.C., and welcome our Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton.
Thank you, Mayor Bowser. Members of the council, members of our downtown bid, our partners at the National Park Service, and ladies and gentlemen. Now, I don't know what we did or what we did to deserve just the day we needed to open this park, but this is certainly it's a day meant to open Franklin Park. I'm so grateful for this day. I am very pleased to join you to celebrate the reopening, and that's what it is. It's a reopening, so you wouldn't even recognize it from the old park. A reopening of the old Franklin Park. This, my friends, is the largest green space in downtown D.C. The long-awaited rehabilitation of this historic urban park will provide an oasis for D.C. residents and visitors to the nation's capital, just what they need if they come to downtown D.C. Now, Congress authorized this park for public purposes in 1819. Look how long ago it was, how old this park is. So it did not become known at the time until it was known as this became Franklin Square much later. At the time, the square had natural springs rather than the springs you see there. That was used to provide water to the White House and other federal buildings. Franklin Square has been a public park, however, since the 1850s, when there was still a civil war in our country, serving the D.C. community for about 170 years. Prior to today's renovation, the last changes to the park were made in 1935, before any of us were born, as part of a New Deal era public works campaign. These changes included the planting of new trees, a paved flagstone plaza, and an oval fountain. A revitalization of our beloved park was long overdue, however. That is why in 2019, working together with Senator Lisa Murkowski, I was able to get legislation in the House, she in the Senate, signed into law that clarified that the District of Columbia and the National Park Service have the authority to enter into cooperative management agreements to rehabilitate, manage, and operate National Park Service parks in the District of Columbia. This was important to us because, of course, the National Park Service is responsible for all of our parks, and we are a city of parks. But NPS has limited funding, and Congress does not do enough to fund all of the huge number of parks, like Franklin Park, under its supervision. There is no hope of renovating all our parks, both large and small, without assistance from local jurisdictions like the District of Columbia has so generously done, where our parks are located. As a result of the partnership among NPS D.C. and the Downtown Business Improvement District, visitors today will be able to enjoy a beautifully restored park. With amenities such as an outdoor restaurant, can't wait for that, and pavilion, an interactive historic fountain, a diversified tree canopy, ADA accessible sidewalks, increased seating, and a children's garden to top it all. Now, that's a park, people. The renovation to Franklin Park will ensure that this historic space will continue to meet the needs of our city into the 21st century. It's my pleasure now to ask Superintendent Feingold to come to the podium.
Good afternoon. Quite an afternoon it is, isn't it? My name is Jeff Reinbold. I am the superintendent of the National Mall and Memorial Parks. It's the National Park Service's collection of monuments and memorials on the National Mall, as well as 24 park areas north of Constitution Avenue, including Franklin Park. The National Park Service has a unique role in the nation's capital. We are the stewards of some of America's most iconic places. We're the nation's premier stage for national celebrations and discourse. But we are also the neighborhood park for many residents and workers in the district. And we are a place where generations of D.C. residents come to play with their kids, to mark family milestones, or to take a break. And that is one of the many reasons why today is so important to us. So we gather to cut the ribbon on the renovated Franklin Park, the first major work on the park in decades, through the cooperative efforts of the Mayor's Office, the D.C. Department of General Services, D.C. Department of Public Recreation, Downtown D.C., and the National Park Service. This remarkable transformation is turning a green space into a premier urban park. Partnerships with the local government and private sector are core to the National Park Service, going back to our beginning more than 100 years ago. And as we move into the second century, the National Park Service is looking for creative ways to leverage our resources and find allies to help us with our mission. Here in the National Mall and Memorial Parks, more than 60 partners contribute over $20 million annually in their time and talent and financial resources to support our parks. And we are particularly fortunate that the business improvement districts work with us and many of these parks, and most importantly, to keep the parks relevant, to keep them engaging, and make them places that people care about. And downtown D.C. is one of the leaders in this space. So what you see today is a testament to the creativity, focus, and honestly the willpower of these partners over the last 10 years to see this through. And I want to recognize a couple of individuals. Our sincere thanks to Congresswoman Eleanor Holmes Norton, whose legislative fix makes all of this possible. To Mayor Bowser and the many city agencies and employees involved in the project, who not only provided the significant funding to make this happen, but also the expertise in planning and executing the renovation. And to the many National Park Service staff in our park and in our regional office, particularly former Superintendent Bob Vogel, and a special acknowledgement for our Deputy Superintendent Steve Lorenzetti, who unexpectedly passed away in 2014. Steve steered some of the earliest meetings between the Park Service and the bid on this. I'm sure he would be smiling to be here today. So as we celebrate this renewed and reinvigorated park, the importance of green spaces and recreational areas in our own communities, and the power of people working together to make a difference. My congratulations to all the partners who've worked tirelessly to make this possible, to reimagine this park. We look forward to continuing to work with you in the months and years to come. I am reminded of the words of Benjamin Franklin, for whom this park may or may not be named. Well done is better than well said. To all of our Franklin Park partners, well done. Thank you. And now I would like to invite our guests to join us for the official ribbon cutting.
Yes, sir. I can't leave the man until I get some more business. You want to give me a couple contracts? Excuse me.